Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. The enhanced services of Issue 32 can still be seen throughout the city, with the effects keeping Clevelanders even safer than before. The Cleveland Division of EMS just started their newest cadet class, all of them eager to hit the streets and help those who are in need. EMS Commissioner Nicole Carlton says that one of the benefits of Issue 32, along with the new cadet class, is increased response times.
The Division of EMS started a class of 28 EMTs and paramedics, and this class replaces attrition from those lost in the year of 2017, and that was due to the increased services we had due to Issue 32. Issue 32 allowed the Division of EMS to increase our ambulances on day shift to 25 units, and on night shift we are running 21 ambulances. What does that do for you? That decreases response times to your medical emergencies.
Meanwhile, over at the Fire Training Academy, their newest cadets are getting used to their first week of training to become the next Cleveland firefighter. Fire Chief Angelo Cavillo owes a lot of the growth of the Cleveland Fire Department to Issue 32.
It allowed us to provide that enhancement budget so that we could put a class of 40 cadets on and another class of 40 cadets at the end of the year so that we can have the Cleveland Division of Fire where it needs to be. And then we actually incorporated another engine company last year. So previous to the enhancement budget, we were at 743 members. Now with the enhancement budget and putting these classes on, we're going to be up to 761 members in the Cleveland Division of Fire. And I just want to thank the citizens of Cleveland, Mayor Frank Jackson, council, and everybody that was involved with this to make sure that this was a fruition to make Cleveland safe. And we are so proud and honored to be here.
Everyone at TV20 would like to say good luck to the new cadets of EMS and fire training classes. The Cleveland Division of Fire has a place to train the newest recruits, and it's right in downtown Cleveland. TV20 reporter Dan Monroe has more on the workings of the Cleveland Fire Training Academy.
Thanks, Leah. You know, maybe as a young boy or young girl, you had a dream of being one of these people, putting on the uniform, donning the helmet, and going into battle. No, I'm not talking about being a knight or anything like that. I'm talking about being a firefighter, a City of Cleveland firefighter. I'm at Cleveland's Fire Training Academy, where they're helping turn your childhood dreams into reality. The City of Cleveland's Fire Training Academy first opened its doors in 1964, training over 1,300 men and women to be firefighters. Battalion Chief and Director of Training Thomas Schlomer says the Academy just received a fire charter, improving its training program going forward.
The reason we applied for a fire charter was because we wanted to have more control over the training for our own recruits. Previously, we've been using a fire charter owned by Tri-C, and they were very, very good to us, very cooperative with us. We could not always have the classes when we wanted to, however, and there were certain things that we couldn't control over the training of our own people. The fire charter allows us to teach classes that lead to certification. That's an important thing because all firefighters in the state of Ohio must be trained to the Firefighter 2 level.
Chief Schlomer says the fire charter is not only good for training its cadets, but for training the instructors as well.
The other thing that the fire charter allows us to do is it allows us to teach our own instructors. Previously, if I needed more fire instructors to be trained, I would have to have them trained by some other entity like the Ohio Fire Academy or Tri-C or someplace like that. Now I can train my own fire instructors, I can conduct live fire operations training for my instructors, and I can bring those instructors up to a certification level without the City of Cleveland having to pay to have some other entity do that training. That's pretty important, and that's going to save the City of Cleveland some money.
Fire Chief Angelo Cavillo says that the instruction given at the Fire Training Academy is the best anywhere. The fire charter is just the cherry on top.
Well, the Director of Training is Chief Thomas Schlomer. And with his staff of instructors, bar none, I believe they're the best in the nation. What they're going to do is they're going to provide this class of 40 cadets a 5-week accelerated EMT class, take the National Registry test, pass that test, and then go right into a 12-week critical, challenging physicality fire training portion, where they're going to be able to learn how to go into fires with attack lines, hose lines, ladder buildings, climb the aerial ladder to protect our citizens and visitors of Cleveland, Ohio.
Academy instructor Lieutenant Jeff Dudley says that besides the intense book work and hands-on lessons, cadets also learn other things not found in a book.
We have 40 cadets this time, and we've split them into companies A, B, C, and D, so that they have 9 teammates. There'll be 10 in each company. So they'll have 9 teammates that they rely on, that they lean on, from getting guys up on time in the morning, some that have problems, to helping guys in, some guys that are academically superior than others. They can help the other guys get through the academics. We see these guys as teammates more than cadets, because when they graduate the first day, they could be with one of us in an attic in a fire, and we need to rely on them and them us. So we have to build that trust here.
As you can see, the Fire Training Academy truly is state-of-the-art, and the cadets that are training here now will soon go on to become the guardians of the city of Cleveland. At Cleveland's Fire Training Academy, for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe.
Thanks, Dan. If you would like more information on what it takes to become a Cleveland firefighter, email firejobs@city.cleveland.oh.us. Last week, students across the country staged a walkout protesting against gun violence in the wake of the tragic school shooting in Florida last month that left 17 students and teachers dead. CMSD reporter Shannon Cantner brings us the story on how Cleveland students participated in the protest.
Enough is enough. That's the message from thousands of students across the country who participated in National School Walkout Day, walking out of their schools for 17 minutes to honor the victims of the tragic school shooting in Parkland, who died exactly 1 month ago, and to protest gun violence. And despite the winter weather conditions here in Cleveland, students came out strong across the district to send a message. I talked with some of the student organizers and also CMSD's CEO Eric Gordon about how the district responded to this movement. Snow, wind, and freezing temperatures didn't stop Cleveland students from walking out of school to make their voices heard.
We will make a difference!
This was something that we were really passionate about. We wanted to make a difference. We wanted to, join the nation's movement and really show that we are also in support to it. It shouldn't be an issue to go to school. You shouldn't have to feel unsafe walking down the street. That's not something that anyone should ever feel.
I wanted to raise awareness across the world to stop all this gun violence. So I wanted to see what I can do to make a difference and to change and say this is enough.
More than 100 students from Facing History New Tech marched outside their school to protest gun violence. They were even joined by some community partners and police, all showing their solidarity and support.
Even the ones that were inside the house, I wanted them to hear us marching, saying enough is enough.
The energy was so high and the message was so important. And at the end, they said, look, let's go into this building quietly so that people can talk about this for years to come.
The walkouts like this at more than a dozen schools across the district went just as smoothly. District CEO Eric Gordon said he's proud of the students' actions and the educators using this as a teachable moment.
We think that's a great way to talk about civil disobedience. There are actually times when it's appropriate to break the rules to be heard. And so our position is that learning how to do that means learning that when you make those choices, there are some natural consequences or logical consequences. In this case, if you walk out of a classroom, the consequence is you're marked tardy or absent. And so we informed our faculty to let kids make their own decisions, let them know what the logical consequence of the decision is, and help them to learn to use their voice. What we saw were demonstrations across the city in multiple high schools, and by all reports, every one of them peaceable, with large numbers of kids participating and then going right back to class. It was tremendous. I'm really, really proud of our kids for using their responsible decision-making skills, and I'm really impressed with the messages that they brought as part of their walkouts.
The main message, enough is enough. Students pointed out that most high school seniors weren't even born yet when the Columbine school shooting shocked the world, which means this is the only world these students know.
I took a couple of days off to cry about what happened in Florida, because it's not only can happen to Florida, but it can also happen to other schools. And every time when I can wake up in the morning and say, how about if it happened to my school? And I won't be able to protect my friends, and I'm going to be worried about my life.
We're fighting for this. Mass shootings, it became our normal. I'm mad that it is normal for us. I don't want my kids or their kids to grow up on this. I don't want to grow up on this. I want to walk out and not leave the house thinking this could be my last day that I go to school. Because you never know.
But now they know they have a voice.
We will make a difference!
It felt empowering. especially, you know, I'm only 17, I can't vote. A lot of the times we're told that we can't do things, that we're, you know, we have to wait till we're adults. So really knowing that we went out there, we scheduled this, we organized this, we made a difference. It's just really nice to know that I do have power, I do have a voice, and I can make a difference.
All of the CMSD demonstrations were peaceful, and I saw students go right back to class after. It's also important to note that the Cleveland Board of Education unanimously approved a resolution supporting legislation to prevent school shootings. This happened during the board meeting on March 13th, the night before the scheduled walkout. The resolution calls upon state and national politicians to take action in 5 key areas, including banning the sale of assault-style weapons and large-capacity ammunition cartridges, except those needed by military and law enforcement, requiring universal background checks, and expanding the gun-free school zones. The board's resolution also strongly opposes arming teachers. You can read the full resolution by visiting the CMSD website at clevelandmetroschools.org and clicking on the board page. And for more stories like this, you can visit the CMSD News Bureau website at clevelandmetroschools.org/news. Reporting from the CMSD TV studio, I'm Shannon Kantner.
5 students from Africa received a warm welcome as they came to Cleveland on a sports scholarship, but they will need more than welcomes to make Cleveland feel like home. That's where Billy Sharp of the community outreach organization Mastering Generosity Unlimited comes in.
We have 5 students that are here from Africa that are trying to be professional basketball players. They all live in the same house. They need every resource possible. So my organization, along with some others, will supply all the food that they need for the duration that they need it. The reason why I wanted to get involved with this is so these 5 students will have nothing to worry about but what they need to do in regards to their studies, in school, and on the court.
To help give the students what they need, Sharp held a Day of Action event at the McDonald's on East 55th and Superior. Sharp reached out to the community to donate basic necessities to the students, and the community didn't let him down.
Given the political climate that we're in, which is one of the things that made me enthusiastic about this project, is that these kids are from Africa. And we wanted to show them how Cleveland will reach out and hold and come together and take care of people who are not from here, just like we would take care of our own.
Many organizations came together to help the students, including KC Charities 14. Organization founder Karen Camper-Cox says her charity does a lot of work over in Africa, and she was excited to help when Sharp called.
I was up to Zelma George one day, and this was a couple days right after Billy told me he wanted me to do this, and I just happened to run into these guys, and I knew at that time this was something I was supposed to do. So our vision for the organization is to help them throughout their time that's here in whatever way we can, and supporting them with toiletries, helping with the utility bills at the home, whatever they need.
While in Cleveland, the players will be playing for Coach Ortney Bryant. Coach O met them while he was visiting Africa and took them in on the scholarship.
You know, originally it wasn't my intention. I was going over there to really just trace my roots back. And when I met these kids and I seen the lack of opportunity that they have, and I felt that it was something I could do about it, I wanted to bridge that gap between Africa and America. So, you know, I did what I did, you know, to get these kids here, and I'm happy I've done it. It's been a process, it's learning. I learned a lot, cultural things that I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have met them. So they think I'm teaching them and they think I'm helping them, but they're helping me tremendously as a person. They help me grow and they help me become a better man, honestly.
One of the students, Shoal Garang, comes to Cleveland from the Ivory Coast. He says he is very thankful for the outpouring of support from the Clevelanders.
Actually, it's amazing. Yeah, I feel amazing by getting help from people, for kind people like Billy. Yeah, I really appreciate all what he do, and I'm thankful to God for meeting him, meeting Dr. Kinney, Coach Joe, coming here to Cleveland, staying here. I feel proud, and I thank God, and I thank Billy.
Everyone at TV20 would like to welcome the students to Cleveland from Africa and wish them the best. If you would like to donate to the students, you can call Billy Sharp at 216-673-4408. Well, our city has a rich history and we want to test your knowledge. Our trivia question for this week. In 1912, businessman Clarence Crane invented which candy here in Cleveland? A. Lifesavers, B. Jolly Rancher, or C. Sweet Tarts? We'll have the answer when we return.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Welcome back to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. In 1912, businessman Clarence Crane invented which candy right here in Cleveland? A. Lifesavers, B. Jolly Rancher, or C. Sweet Tarts? The answer is A. Lifesavers. The candy's name comes from its similarity to the shape of life preservers used for saving people who have fallen from boats. Students at Max Hayes High School worked together to give the Cleveland Police Department back something they thought was destroyed for good. Here's CMSD reporter Shannon Kantner with more.
This bright and shiny Cleveland police car is actually the vehicle that was totaled during the downtown celebrations when the Cavaliers won the 2016 championship. But now, as you can see, it's as good as new thanks to the students here at Max Hayes and the Auto Collision Repair Program. After all of their hard work, this car will now be able to hit the road again, and I was here as they officially handed the keys back to the Cleveland Police Department. Check it out.
We greatly appreciate it and are proud to accept it. Thank you all for your hard work.
It feels amazing to be able to just give this car back, to finally show the Cleveland Police that students in a high school can actually fix a damaged car that we thought that was never going to be able to get finished.
They had their doubts at first. In fact, the city said the car was a total loss.
We had wrote this car off. I mean, there was so much damage on it, and it was really at a point where we didn't feel that it was economical to repair. But they took it on, and the students took ownership of it, and I can't say enough about this program. To me, it's just so exciting to see what's going on here.
Students logged more than 800 hours working on the vehicle through the 2016-2017 school year. After that long road of repairs, lots of teamwork, and help from community partners like Sherwin-Williams and Safelite, they made it to the finish line.
It's a really great feeling, especially to see the kids, the culmination of a project that they started a while ago. And when they first started, there was a lot of hesitation. It seemed like it was becoming a long road, but in the end, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. I was proud of all the students.
Those students saved the city about $10,000. Now the police department will install the two-way radios, and then it's back to active duty, looking better than ever.
It looks absolutely brand new. They did a fantastic job. We couldn't have asked for anything better.
And the students and their instructor couldn't have asked for a better experience.
I wanted them to have something they can take away from high school with them, experience like 5 years from now, that they can sit back and think, and just have some good memories about it.
It feels good to know that I actually have ability to be able to go out in the future and fix cars myself. Once I graduate, I'll be able to remember the biggest thing of my school year was fixing that cop car.
The city told me this car will be back in service within about 2 weeks, and who knows, maybe it will make an appearance at another Cavaliers championship celebration. Reporting from Max Hayes, Shannon Kantner, CMSD TV.
Students that graduated from CMSD and joined the Cleveland Public Power Apprenticeship Program recently had a chance to meet Mayor Frank Jackson in his office at Cleveland City Hall. The apprentices are the 10th group to go through the program, which gives them on-the-job training.
This program began in 2008 as a joint effort between Cleveland Public Power, CMSD, and the Mayor's Office as a way to kind of branch individuals who have decided not to go to college into careers that are sustainable and that will allow them to take care of their families. So because this program has been in existence for 10 years, we've had the privilege of helping a number of CMSD school students progress through their career. So I think that as we're progressing through our next 11, 12, 13 years, we're looking to help these individuals to be successful in their lives as well as be successful as individuals at Cleveland Public Power.
Anytime you reach a position where you can influence outcome, and if you're doing that and it's only to benefit yourself, friends, or family members, that's not the right way to do it. You have to do it in order to assist others and serve others and provide opportunities for other people who may not or would not have that opportunity but for you making the right decision.
Two of the students tell us why they got involved and what they think of the program.
I did this because I wanted to change my life around. I was already going in a bad route, and I wasn't for sure what I wanted to do, college or be in the Army or something. And honestly, I didn't want to go back to college because who wants to do schooling all over again? So when I heard about this program, I was actually suspended at the time. So my counselor told me about it and I got the opportunity to still get the papers and apply. So once I did that, I was determined to get in here.
I think it's great. I'm learning, I'm progressing. The people help me, the staff is great. It's just a good experience. It's a family vibe. I love it.
I'm happy that we're able to help people, young people in particular, have an opportunity that would not exist but for the program.
For more information on the CPP's apprenticeship program, contact Aaliyah McBooth at 216-664-3922, extension 282. The Old Stone Church in downtown Cleveland held their 10th annual Spring Symposium speaker series called Hope for the City. Senior pastor, Reverend Dr. Mark Giuliano, says he came up with the idea for the symposium because 10 years ago, Cleveland was in a very dark place.
10 years ago, Forbes magazine had called us the fastest dying city in America. 10 years ago, the U.S. Census said that we were the second poorest city in America. We were dealing with corruption in our county governments with people like Frank Russo, Jimmy DeMora. The spirit, the heart of Cleveland was in kind of despair. People were really down on their city.
Being the 10th year of the Hope for the City series, Reverend Giuliano invited back the guest speaker who spoke at the first event, Mayor Frank Jackson.
Because the hope for the city is based on the ability to create an environment and situation so that there's the opportunity for a future, opportunity, so people have hope that things are moving. Even in the most dire circumstances, you still need hope. But if we do not stay in line with these, what I call truism, these consistent things, then we'll get lost.
Today was excellent. The first year he was here, he just gave a long speech, and I thought he did a fantastic job. In recent years, he's done more of the Q&A kind of approach, which he did today. And I really respect the fact that he says, I've got a lot of things to talk about, but what I really want to do is hear from you. What do you want me to be talking about? And I appreciate that kind of approach.
For more information on the Old Stone Church, visit their website at oldstonechurch.org. Cleveland's only Spanish theater group is at it again. They're performing a play in Spanish and translating it in a unique way for all to enjoy. TV20's Enrique Correa has more on how this play is providing culture to Cleveland's growing Hispanic population.
The Cleveland Public Theater and Teatro Público de Cleveland joined forces and performed the play In the Time of Butterflies, completely in Spanish with English subtitles, which can be seen above the stage so everyone can follow along.
You know how you have your own personal story you want to tell in your own words? To be able to tell the story of your people in your own language is quintessential to bringing the emotion, the life behind it. And for the English speakers here, the subtitles we have, you are going to get the play. This is not going to be something that you're going to sit there and be confused hearing one thing and seeing another. we blend them together. It's very beautifully executed by everyone in the cast.
The play is based on the award-winning best-selling novel on the true life story of 4 Hispanic sisters codenamed Butterflies who rise up against the Dominican Republic dictatorship of General Trujillo. The actors say they enjoy performing the play in Spanish because it gives the audience a chance to celebrate their language and culture.
I've been here since 2005, and I have seen how much the city has changed. And I think we contribute to that conversation, exposing our ideas here in Teatro Público, because a lot of people don't know about our culture, and we do, with our stories, we give them a little bit more of us, and they come in after and they ask us things, and that contribute to the conversation and make people more aware of their neighbors.
The actors say it's incredibly important to do the play in Spanish, especially since the Hispanic population is growing here in Northeast Ohio.
I've been blessed to be welcomed by this community of fellow Spanish speakers and have the opportunity to represent the story that I grew up with and play one of these inspirational women, inspirational characters that I grew up admiring. And so the fact that I get to do that, and the fact that I get to tell that story, and people get to come and listen to me tell that story in Spanish, which is my native language, is really an honor and a privilege and a really beautiful experience.
And so my family was able to come and experience live theater in their language for the first time. That was something that created a bridge in this community. In addition to that, for those of us that were born and raised here, and now I'm raising my own children here, this is actually bridge work that we are dealing with here, going back from our parents, grandparents, and now moving forward with the future generations.
Each spring, Teatro Público performs a play in Spanish. Then in the fall, they collaborate with the Cleveland Public Theater to create and perform plays based on Spanish culture. So make sure you check out their next production. On Cleveland's West Side, Enrique Correa, TV20, we are Cleveland.
Don't forget to check the waste collection calendar to see if it's bulk week in the city of Cleveland. For more information on your trash and recycling pickup, including bulk week, delays due to holiday, and guidelines on how to properly set out your cans, visit the city's website at city.cleveland.oh.us. Thanks for watching TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Up next, we'll have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.